He's a child.
Yeah.
Holy moly, the lights went out on Broadway. Hi, friends. It's Friday afternoon, and we're here at TK Studio, and I am so happy to spend some moments with someone who I like and admire and respect as a human and as an artist and as a specialist in the body, and especially in actors' bodies, and has been so beloved here at our studio. This is Belinda Mello.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to
really
say,
sweet.
Belinda teaches and is a master at the Alexander technique, and we're going to talk today about why we do the Alexander technique, why that's useful for actors, and why actors need to pay attention to their bodies to get the best performances.
Yeah. I do want to say that it's been a privilege is maybe not quite the right word, but it's because it's something more than that. It feels like let me start again. Teaching here has been a really unique experience and a really satisfying one because you bring in people who care about their craft and care about themselves as artists, and that makes the work that I do so much more worthwhile.
It's nice when people want to do it, you know.
It is.
That's a weird thing to say, but you know, as someone who taught at a university where people sometimes it's because they're younger, but also because they aren't quite clear whether they want to do it, there can be more resistance.
Yeah, or they have an idea of something they want to do, but I feel like you bring people in past that first thought and invite them in to discover the larger thing about their lives and their art and how those things mesh.
Yeah, it's holistic.
Yeah.
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 So, like, when I just knocked the mic.
You did.
You know, I was saying today in class that people actually don't want to go to acting class. They just they want to be actors.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of take inventory and they go, oh, maybe I should learn how to do this. And so they come to an acting school thinking that what they're going to do is take acting class. And not everybody is aware that the training of an actor involves more than just working on text and working on acting, that this thing that we call the instrument, which is the body and the voice and the spirit, also needs some cultivation and support, and that's where you come in. So that's sometimes a surprise.
Yeah.
And even they can even get a little cranky about that, like, really? I got to do that? But like, tell us why, in your opinion, specifically for acting, because Alexander technique is also something that everybody could benefit from. But how does it help actors, and what are some of the concrete benefits that you've noticed you've been able to help with?
Well, you bring up that people come in, they want to be acting, and then they feel not only surprised and dismayed, but disappointed in themselves because they're nervous. Because they find themselves sweating or their mouth is dry and they don't know what to say when they're in situations that are new, or they have an audience watching them. And they don't understand that that's something that they actually can learn about, that it's all part of the play. And it's a part of the information that your body and your nervous system are giving you. And that eventually that's like a gift. But initially it can feel like a burden. And the Alexander technique and the work that both of us do help people settle in and kind of make space for the play, to make space for the discovery. And rather than defending themselves, rather than making themselves feel like this practiced self that they've been working on for so long. You know what? I mean, I'm getting comfortable here. I'm sitting here and talking to you. It's taking me a few minutes to get comfortable. And I'm using things that I teach to help me get there. Like I'm noticing where my support is. Like, what are my resources right now? And I have a chair. I have this nice chair. And I can sit on it, and I can sit back on it if I want to. And the floor is underneath me. And so rather than having to provide support for myself, I can let the environment do a little bit of the work for me.
Yeah.
There's a practical.
Yeah. So I think you used a really important word, this word noticing.
Yeah.
I think it kind of starts with that, like self-awareness and noticing myself, noticing the other person.
Yeah.
And how does it become a gift? Like you just talked about nerves, for instance, which I translate that to mean that they care, right?
Yes.
Like that's useful. Like
yes. I really care
and
about
something. And that it's energy.
Yes.
But it feels like a problem often in the beginning. So how do you help actors who are, I think, naturally going to be nervous? That's energy, because it's my first day on set, or I'm in front of people, or this is a big scene. The play this is the climactic scene, and one could get stage fright or freeze or stop breathing. So how do you help them turn that into a gift?
I think that we kind of come to understand that we're not solving that problem, that it's not a problem to solve, because awareness, as you said, is going to be very, very useful, but awareness that's just turned back in on yourself is not helpful, because then a person could start to judge and start to assess, oh, I'm doing a bad job because I feel nervous. And so if we remember what's important, what's more interesting, what we are agreeing to do. And I think everything in the Alexander work and in acting really starts from a moment of agreement. I am interested in trying out this repetition exercise. I am interested in entering this. I've agreed to do that. I'm not doing it because someone said it was my turn and I must go up and do that. Because then I'm going to survive it.
Yeah. It's like I get to instead of I have to.
I get to instead of I have to.
Yeah.
And that shifts things, and it shifts where your attention is placed. And then you can notice things through your senses. And then you get to, like, there's a funny looking dinosaur over there, and I keep noticing it.
Yeah.
And so
I should bring that in so that the people at home aren't deprived of this funny looking dinosaur with the purple sparkle. Yes,
dinosaur.
Beautiful dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yes. See what happens in an acting studio? We have dinosaurs for Alexander teachers to notice and get settled with.
And then they move their little heads.
Yeah, it's
and
also
their
possible.
bodies follow, and they understand how to move with ease and efficiency. And
we'll just keep this
we'll
right
keep
here.
that right there until we need it.
Well, between us, just so you can have access to it if you want. I think also, like I often say, and then I'm flattered when we talk that you're going, that's what I think about too. Because maybe I'm an honorary Alexander teacher without even having the training. I don't know, I'm being a little presumptuous there, but it seems like some of the things I think about are in alignment with things you think about.
Yeah.
But I often say to actors that, in a way, separate from the technical knowledge, that the best thing that could happen would be that they'd have a sense of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Does that line up for you?
Absolutely.
Like when they're acting, the best performances come where the acting's invisible and they just feel like it's almost like flying. And there's ease, that's a word you used.
Yeah.
And there's energy in it. It's not just relaxation, but Talk about tensegrity maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Define it, because it's a complicated
So
word.
tensegrity means the shared tension creates integrity, and it's a design term that comes from Buckminster Fuller and people of that era making sculpture and also making buildings.
Geodesic domes.
Geodesic domes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it means that there's energy going in more than one direction. And when we're engaged, that's what's happening with us, is that our energy is moving in more than one direction. And that gives us balance. It gives us resiliency and interplay.
Dimensionality.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we get tense, we tend to go in one direction. So you see that kind of grapefruit acting.
Oh, that's a cool term.
Yeah, yeah.
So, can you exaggerate that? For the camera, show us grapefruit acting.
Okay, so this is from Lorna Michaels.
Yeah.
And it's gooseneck, googly eyes, and offering a grapefruit. Grapefruit acting. Yes.
And what's the antidote to that?
Well, tensegrity.
Tensegrity. And
absolutely.
I'm with you and with me.
Yes, I'm with you and with me, and
Yeah.
I'm in the room.
Yeah.
And I might be getting support from something way in the back in my past.
Yeah.
Or something I'm hoping for way in the future.
Yeah.
So there's time and space.
Right. Like a six-sided box in the torso, and
yeah.
What Patsy Rodenberg, brilliant voice teacher from England, would call second circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that idea that she uses that also is in Laban, which is about the kinespheres.
Yeah.
Right. So the space that I'm attending to, that I'm in. I think that I wanted to say one more thing, if it's okay.
And then I have a real world example for you. I want to ask you about. Yeah.
All right. Well, I wanted to say that tensegrity also is helpful in thinking about what is relaxation and freedom. Because relaxation that's floppy is never what acting teachers and directors have in mind, unless the character's dying.
Oh, this is such inside baseball, but like Lee Strasberg was all about relaxation. And when I studied at the Strasberg Institute, we'd sit in chairs and we'd kind of going like floppy. And then the teacher would come along and check and say, oh, a little holding right there. And the goal was to be very soft.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came to the Williamson work, Lloyd Williamson's work, which was developed to go with the Meisner technique, and which we teach here, he says, I don't like relaxation as a word. I like the word release. But I think you're also saying with tensegrity, it's not just released, it's like having enough so you could go.
Oh, yeah.
Not just, I'm in San Juan.
Yeah, I mean, we want to have the energy available.
Yes.
And Alexander is all about matching your energy to what's needed.
Right.
And so that's part of why I need to be more sensitive and have more awareness, is I need to be able to actually sense what's needed through my body, not just because of some words that are in the script. I need to be taking in what's going on in you and in me, and we can be responding to each other. We're matching what's happening. When I exceed something, I know I'm exceeding it.
Right.
And when I'm I'm going less, I know I'm going less.
It's like a handshake in a way, right? Like, is it a floppy handshake, or is it a bone crusher handshake, or is it just enough?
Yeah.
So here's a real world example or challenge. I'm going to pick a play that a lot of people probably know, Streetcar Named Desire.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next to last scene, you know the play, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Blanche has kind of come almost to the end of the line. Mm-hmm. And her sister, Stella, is in the hospital giving birth. She's alone, kind of lost in her fantasies, pretending that things are good, but they're not. And Stanley comes home, and they call this scene the rape scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that's what it is because I think she's kind of in it with him as well. But there's a lot of panic, and he's a violent man and a brutal man. How, because it's like the most heightened scene in the play in a way. How would you help with the work that you do an actor? Like imagine an actor without your work and an actor with your work. How would you be telling them or guiding them or supporting them, or what are some things they could think about? For instance, as she's holding a bottle, she's broken the bottle off. She's saying, stay away. And he's saying like, tiger, tiger,
Yeah.
you know, and she doesn't know if he's going to harm her. And then he all of a sudden swoops her up in his arms and says, we've had this date with each other from the beginning.
Yeah.
What can because I'm getting amped up thinking about it.
Yeah. And I'm imagining that you're talking about actors who have developed this, where they're skilled actors. It's
Yes,
not the
well, I
beginning.
kind of want two actors. I want the one who has all the emotion but doesn't know how to use their body.
Okay.
And maybe the one, I'm thinking about like Miracle Grow. The tomato without Miracle Grow and the tomato with Miracle Grow.
All right. So here's what's coming to my mind. So if let's just say my hand. I'm not going to say this is an actor. Just this is my hand.
Yeah.
And if I hold it out like this, it's fairly relaxed and makes kind of a cup shape. And if I stretch it, it changes shape. And as I release that stretch, it kind of returns to this easy cup shape. Same thing with a fist, and I let that go, right? So that's an experienced piece of knowledge. Now, this hand has an idea that after it stretches, it's going to make that shape. And it could make that shape, but not go about it by letting go of what's not needed, but by just making that shape.
So it's got too much tension
It's
in
got
it.
too much tension in it. And this could also
Can
happen.
you see this, people? Can you see what's happening? Because this is the shit right here. Do that again.
So, well, this could also happen from this.
Yes,
I'm doing so
yes,
much work,
yes.
and then I let too much of it go.
And that's also putting tension in your jaw, I can see.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's because I'm anticipating what is going to happen. So I've started to build in to my actor preparation, my rehearsal work, a little bit of this anticipatory idea of what's going to happen. And it shows up in my body because we are smart. And the brain and the body are one unified thing. And if I'm thinking I got to be able to be limp and this guy's going to pick me up, I'm already doing it before it's even the moment has happened.
Right.
So if I can come along and remind the actor to stay in the moment, and I might do that with some very gentle hands-on. Because can I put my hand on your leg for a second?
Please.
Because touch.
Call the police. I tricked you.
You did.
Yeah.
Anyway, touch.
You did not sign a consent form. You can do it. Go for it.
Well, if you put your own hand on your
No,
chest.
you do it. You go
All right.
for it. You do it.
If I put my hand on your leg,
Yeah.
your leg is going to show up in a little bit brighter way to yourself than the other leg that doesn't have it, right? It's just an amplifier.
Sensation,
Touch is a sensation, it's an amplifier.
Yeah.
So then with that extra piece of amplification,
Yeah.
you might become aware that there's just a little bit of more movement, a little less holding and shaping that you need to do. And it's that permission that we give ourselves to come back to this kind of primary way we need to move, come back to our design, come back to listening to actually what's happening, to matching what's happening. Then we're really more prepared to be with the partner. And that exciting thing can happen in that scene where
But
you
you're not
feel them
saying
to come together.
this becomes a habit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The training you're talking about. Like you can't be thinking about acting when you're acting, I don't think.
Right.
And you can't be really thinking about Alexander work while you're acting. If you've practiced it enough, it kind of goes with you. Is that how it works?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. I think that I think I would have, like, even a few months ago, agreed with you completely, but now I think that there are ways in which we can remind ourselves of what we really want to be doing, that we do all the time in the midst of doing something. It's not stop and reset and fix what's going on, but it's like, oh yeah, I want to be doing this thing. This is what I want to do, and I don't need to tighten my back to do this.
If I notice that I'm
Yeah.
going offline,
Yeah.
or if I as an actor notice that all of a sudden in the scene with Juliet and I'm Romeo, I go, did I buy the plane tickets to San Juan?
No.
Wait a minute, Juliet. Like if I notice myself going offline, right,
Yeah.
or oh shit, that critic's in the audience, right? I think it's more just a scaffolding of potential reminders if I need them.
I think so, but I also think that the very experienced actor can say, right at this moment, I'm going to get a little bit easier and a little freer. And right here, so that I can be a little more tender. And I know that when I get a little easier in that way, I become a little more tender. And
What if I'm already tender?
that I don't need to do it.
Okay, it's
Right.
optional.
It's right, so
Yeah.
that I know I can do it.
Yeah.
I know how to get myself back on track into the present, into being sensitive. I don't think it distracts us. It
Yeah.
does at first.
Yeah. It's a little conscious at first. Yeah.
Maybe I'm talking about advanced work.
Yeah. So here's a rhetorical question, friends, which the answer I hope is implied. Do you all think it matters how an actor uses their body when they're acting? I mean, isn't it obvious, right? And when you think of the best actors,
Yeah.
Viola Davis, Cate Blanchett, Joaquin Phoenix, Marlon Brando, Meryl Streep, Denzel Washington, they feel so embodied, aren't they?
They are.
But actors don't think about that. And then they get in their head or they get tight.
It's trusting the information you're getting from and through your physical self,
Yeah.
and not separating those two things out. And we live in a society that divides the mind and the body.
Yeah. Lloyd Williamson used to say, and I like this quote, an audience is going to experience in their bodies what the actor is experiencing in the actor's body and no more. So if we go back to that hand, the good hand and the overworked hand, the audience is just going to get the work and they're not going to get the content, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. And
then they're going to be tense and they're not even going to know why. And then they won't be affected in a kind of the pathos of what's happening to Blanche, either because she's anticipating or she's working too hard or something like that.
Yeah. And we're coming as the audience hoping that the actors will kind of exceed their practiced selves and really experience something.
Yes.
That we can, as you said, that we can then experience with them.
The actor experiences, that's why the audience is in the dark. Because they can't do what the actors can do, but they crave the experience.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think we entrain with them. I mean, entrainment is one of those things that we do from...
Explain entrainment. That's an interesting thing.
I think of it as being with. It's like being with somebody in a way that kind of exceeds even necessarily time and space, but getting less esoteric about it, it's just that, like, you and I are sitting here next to each other and we're starting to rhythmically mirror each other.
We're moving, yes. Or it's like when your foot starts tapping to music.
And everybody starts
tapping. Or you're in the trance or something like that.
Yeah, and it's part of play. It's one of the things we practice when we play as children.
Yeah.
And so we feel safe.
Yeah.
It lets us feel safe in community, lets us feel safe enough in community to make mistakes. And so the audience feels that they're being welcomed to be part of the atmosphere.
It creates a field.
Yeah, it creates a field.
Yeah. This is so hardcore shit, people, I'm telling you. This is next level we're talking about. It really is.
Yeah, but it's the magic of why live
Yeah.
theater is
Yeah.
something that is so essential and we really need.
Let's talk about habits and
Yeah.
physical habits, maybe unaware physical habits. How actors can come on stage or come into an audition or just come into a space and bring all the clutter
Yeah.
of their habits in there. And what does that do, and what are the opportunities in that for an actor who cares and would like to be better?
Well,
Give an example,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I will, because I think that actors, like everybody else, enters the room with the sum total of both the knowledge and the lack of knowledge that they have. And we, as I said before, we separate mind and body. And even if we don't think we are, we are. And so people don't understand how unified they are and then how to organize themselves. And I'm going to pause here because I just used a lot of gobbledygook from Alexander technique, and I'm trying to speak less gobbledygook.
Well, the language is useful, but
Okay.
you can reframe it.
Yeah, I'd like to reframe it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of a couple of actors in particular that I've been working with in the last couple of years here, who have prized being relaxed and casual. And so
They used to prize being relaxed and casual.
when they first came in.
Like being cool.
Yeah, and so there's a kind of looseness about them. And for them to understand that there is actually an organization that's spinal in vertebrate beings. And it doesn't mean you have to hold that organization, but you can use it.
Yeah.
Then they become more centered and more whole. And there's a channel for their voice. There's a channel for their attention. And they're there. And it's so beautiful to watch that transformation happen.
Yeah. Actors sometimes in the beginning of the activity work that we do in the Meisner, they say, have a seat and you're going to work off your partner. The partner's doing something, and they'll sit like this. And I'll say, well, I give them an actual instruction. I say, don't lean back. Don't use the back of the chair to support you. Feel your feet on the ground and feel your sits bones kind of nicely holding you up there. And it's a nice neutral spot. I don't want you to get tight. Yeah. And then they'll go like this. I'll go, I don't know how helpful that is either, because your diaphragm's getting a little compressed. So we want this kind of neutral availability is what I'm inviting them to, which to me says something about what I would call the creative state. Right. Again, I'm not the expert that you are, but there's something about, and I say, like, imagine you're a samurai walking in the forest, and there is no threat, but you're ready, just in case.
Right.
Like, you're not girding for the threat, but you're also not, like, on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're ready.
And a samurai on their phone.
Yeah.
It's a really
That's a cool one. But it's something about being ready.
Yeah, I call it ready, not already.
That's cool, because that's the anticipation you're talking about.
But the first example, falling back, I've given up time. There's no future. There's not even present. So
That's
I don't
funny.
have to be responsible for being in this moment with you.
Right. And they're going to do all the work.
Yeah. And I'm protected here, out of time.
Right.
And so much is understood by the audience based on just the physics of the planet. So we have this meridian of gravity. Gravity is a vertical force. And we have a center, front to back, side to side. We have a core. And if we scrunch that core up, we seem to lose something. And if we expand, we seem to gain something. And that's a very small amount of movement, actually. That's a small amount of movement, but it makes a big difference. because once we do this, we start pushing into forward and back.
Right.
So now I'm saying I'm here, but we're going back to this grapefruit thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm all about you and don't worry about me.
Yeah.
So
It's a little sycophantic.
it is a little sycophantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some actors who, when they work, it's just like, it's almost like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think about like Anthony Hopkins, who to me is so masterful.
Or Andrew Scott.
Sure. But like you take a movie, just to go back to Anthony Hopkins just for a moment, Sir Anthony, like Silence of the Lambs, he's so easeful, and yet it's so dramatic and juicy.
Mm-hmm.
And in the hands of another actor, that might have been so overworked that we wouldn't have enjoyed it as much.
Yeah, because we get a higher status from the person who can be the most relaxed in the room.
Yeah.
Right? And that's an incredible way of taking power.
That's a great, and when, yes, that's nice.
And a principle to think about is that the faster I'm letting myself go means the more I'm releasing myself from resistance. So when there's more resistance, that takes more time. Right? So that the craft of how to use tension, we've talked about this a little bit, about how I've been experimenting in class with helping the students understand how to use the physical dynamics that are often just put in the case of tension. But really, they have to do a lot with like how I'm manipulating or being manipulated by or being blocked or opening up. And so tension is informative.
Right. And going back to that woman you were talking about who was acting 14 and sort of so cool, who is so, as we said, committed to growth and learning about herself. Where is she now? I mean, she's still on the journey, but like what success markers do you sense with her?
I really saw her in the final project we were working with, using some Anton Chekhov text, and watching her kind of rise. So, and in this case, she was using a character who you could assume is sinking, is falling apart, is lost hope.
Who's the character? Is it Masha?
No, it was Astrov.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
And
Uncle Vanya.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was using that character as an opportunity to really have a.
Because Yelena won't be with him?
Yeah, but it's like expressing his dissatisfaction with this whole situation, because he has a moral core and everyone is disappointing him. And that was a great example of energy in more than one direction. I'm losing my confidence, my sense of being connected to other people. I'm disgusted. I can't love anybody. Sonya's asking him if he loves anyone. He's like, no, I can't love anybody. But inside, he's thinking about who he does love and thinking about what he does care about. So there's more than one thing happening, and she could embody that. That was what was important, that she could embody that contradiction. That was exciting.
Yeah. What else should we finish with here? You want to tell me a story about habit, or?
I don't anymore.
Okay.
I know what it was. That other thing about the question about when an actor is doing too much, it's so frustrating. But when an actor isn't doing too much, how beautiful it is. And I was thinking about past lives and entrainment, right? How we can feel connected to somebody who we haven't seen for years and years. And that scene in that movie where they meet in this park and they are both missing each other and connecting. And it happens so much in the silences and in the space between the people in a way that can only happen when both the individuals are just simply there, not pushing, not pulling, just there.
It's like Goldilocks, Alexander.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks easy because the best acting is invisible, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of craft.
Yeah.
That's a lot of training. That's a lot of mastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good director who knows when to run the camera and when to turn it off. You know, when to ask people to what to do and what not to do.
If you're lucky, you get a good director. But I think really good training, I mean, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But really good training almost makes you director proof in a way that no matter what, because often directors will talk in results.
Yeah, but I got my degree in directing, so I have a little interest in directing.
You're smart and you're sensitive. But I think this training supports you no matter what's going on.
That's right.
Including no matter what's going on with the other actor.
And that's so important. It's so important because that is going to be, you know, it's going to be a challenge.
Sometimes you're going to do a love scene with someone who isn't presenting in a way that's so lovable, and you got to make it work, and you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wow. Anything else here?
Yeah, I have something. Because you talk about like being Goldilocks, like it's just enough.
Yeah.
Well, we look at like someone like Robin Williams or Jim Carrey, you know,
Yeah.
who are they're like, you know, larger than life.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah, can be. They, of course.
Okay, and he's a great example because when he goes past what's actually happening, I can't watch it.
It's cartoonish.
It's a cartoonish thing.
But then you go
But when
like
he's
Sunshine, Eternal
Yeah.
Sunshine of the whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of that movie?
Eternal
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I don't know.
That was pretty good.
We'll put it in post.
Well,
Okay.
I struggle like, oh, am I too much? Am I being too much? But when is it too much? Or like maybe like if you are grounded in some sort of truth, it's not too much. Like what's that line?
I think it's very much about being in that state of play where you are available and you are playing with what's actually there with you, which is kind of why the awareness work builds that skill of being able to actually see and hear and taste and smell what's really in the room with you. And then you're excited by it and you go a little too far. How do you know it's too far? It doesn't feel right. And you change and you change and then you take a risk and change again. And you know, I think it's a lot like children playing where sometimes you go a little too far and you say, oh, sorry, man, sorry I did that. And then they're like, okay, let's do it again, right? When you pretend you didn't do that, right? Then your friend just gets up and leaves or whatever, won't play with you anymore.
I think also with Jim Carrey, and I love Jim Carrey, and I think he's a consummate artist and a deep soul and an interesting painter, by the way.
Interesting artist. He just
But
really is.
I think he also has gotten rewarded for being extreme, and that was the early work. I mean, what he could do with his face was just crazy, and it is interesting to watch. But it is a cartoon. It's like it's too much, and he's gotten rewarded for that because people laugh and they find it interesting. But he also has the skill to drop into like the Andy Kaufman movie or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And there's something very grounded about him that I think he's discovered for it to be really impactful. He doesn't need to do that, but he also has that in his bag of tricks. So to me, it's almost a separate thing. Robin Williams, I find less so. I could watch him all day long. And, you know, he can do really deep work. And he can also do really crazy work, and he can sometimes even bring that in, like in Good Morning Vietnam. He kind of mixes both of them. But I'm never turned off by his antics. He just happens to operate at a high frequency.
So what's justifying the antics versus the antics being done
He's
to
a child.
Yeah.
Holy moly, the lights went out on Broadway.
But do you know what I mean by if it's Robin Williams it's like he had this brilliant kind of way of finding a justification and really rolling with it, so it could be as wild as it needed to be because it came from a source. It was like, yep, and that's because of this, and that's because of this, and that's because of this, which is really different than I'm going to be a goof,
right?
And you're going to like me or not like me.
He trusts his impulses.
Yeah.
And he happens to operate on a high frequency. And if you look at kids, you know, you have kids and they're older now, but I have kids and they're not so old. And that's not because you're older than me. That's just because I'm a late bloomer in the kid department. Like my daughter's going to be 4. I watch her class, and some are quiet, and some are full of energy. Robin Williams is just a full of energy kid.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's how he rolls.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
And so it is kind of delightful. Back to the Goldilocks. I mean, she stays, and because she's enjoying.
Yeah.
The just right.
Yeah.
It was just right for her.
Let's get the porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, like.
Oh, now you're having a good time remembering
so
this.
Much fun,
yeah, no, it's beautiful
right?
stuff. It's beautiful stuff.
And that really is the secret sauce for, I think, really great acting, is to pay attention to this and start to notice what most civilians are unconscious about.
Yeah,
they
respecting
don't even know.
the instrument.
Yeah.
And really treating yourself like a real artist who needs to practice.
And being curious about it.
And get skill and be curious and care for yourself. You know, sometimes I say, like, how do you center your own well-being in your art rather than have it be after and before and on the outside of the room? But how is your well-being right at the center of it?
And I think when you do that, then you have less of a need for recovery.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's all this thing like, oh, I need to do something now to like take care of myself because I went through this thing. And they're like, really? If you'd been centering your well-being throughout, sure, you might be tired and want a day off and go to the beach, but it's not like you were harmed because you were bringing yourself along the whole time.
Yeah.
And making it therefore sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like Elephant Man, you know, which is such a contorted character. How do you create the illusion of excess? Like you might play a character who's excessively tense. There's a way to do that in a sustainable way that doesn't drain you.
Yeah, I worked with an actor once who, when I met him, came to me just to have table work, just to be able to have quiet and
Her
rest.
version of table work is different from my version of table work. You're lying on a table.
Yeah.
We talk about table work with actors where we have scripts in hand and we're sitting at a table.
Yeah.
Your table work is they're lying and you're touching them and helping them.
Yeah, I'm using that touch we discussed before that amplifies.
Well, we didn't just discuss it. You touched me.
Okay. Oh.
And that was good.
Okay, good.
I felt, I'm being sassy, but I felt it because she brought awareness in my cells to where her hand was. And that's the sort of thing you can do for yourself. Am I awake here? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was he came because he was kind of recovering from a role that was very emotionally demanding.
Good.
His character had to commit suicide.
Good, I would say.
And had lost so many things, and it was so in parallel with the losses in his real life that he needed to slow down and take some time and kind of unravel that. And I think one of the things he unraveled was that he had made a mistake in where he had personalized what he was doing too much.
Yeah.
And he felt it in his. He really felt it in his body.
He traumatized himself.
He did a little bit, yeah. And he was wise enough to recognize that something like that was going on, to seek out some assistance, and to kind of learn from that experience, and be honest with themselves, like, oh yeah, there it is, right? So sometimes we don't do this work that either of us do to be perfect. We do it so that we have tools for recovery when we need to do that, when we have gone overboard in some way that's not respectful to ourselves, or the set is not safe and you fall off.
There are a lot of weirdos in this business, friends. A lot of freaks. Like somebody was putting this sound thing on me. I was on set once,
Yeah.
and the person was dropping a mic in my shirt and getting a little handsy. And I think that happens. So, there's a lot of weirdos out there. And your ability to know what's happening and how to be calm in the center of the storm so that you're ready is useful.
And I think that's one of the great things about the Alexander work, about the other specialty classes that you have here, is that the actors have an opportunity to spend time getting to know themselves as their home base.
Yep.
And that's safety, any place you go, when you're traveling with your own home base.
Yep. Man, I could do this all day long with you. This is fun. I feel so, and it is entrainment. We're grooving together, but it's easy to do with you because you bring your whole self, and then I can settle into my whole self, and then we could start acting a scene now, and it would be really nice. And we could even fight. Like we could do George and Martha or something like that from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and it would still be it'd be partnering. Right, and that's what we do. It's so intimate what happens in acting, and this has felt like an intimate and rich and just lovely connection. And I hope you all got something from this because this human here knows their stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know your stuff.
Well, it's good to have stuff.
It's good to have stuff.
Yeah, all right.